Can
yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I ask a follow-up? So
Uh,
if we
Mrs. Zakiri, would you like to ask a question? You may,
wow, okay.
for your question.
No, I.
Is there anything else? Any other questions?
So
Miss
I,
Jolly?
is this a
Miss
question
Jolly
to
has the floor.
board administrator or?
Mhm.
I mean, it's, I don't think you'd be able to answer anything different than me.
Okay.
Miss Jolly, do you have a question?
Sure, just
It's the same thing, like I said, when you adopt your budget, you also use surplus to help fund the budget. That does not appear as an actual revenue anywhere in the document.
Okay, thank you.
I have a follow-up question on the,
Mrs. Zakiri, you have one follow-up question. You may go ahead.
as of now, it's one. Can I have more or? are
We
they
need
not
to move
submit-
on, so please ask your
Yes,
question.
We need to move on and there is an agenda item, with all due respect, Mrs. Bradford, that we have to approve and accept these findings. So I think this presentation is for the board with the auditor.
Mrs.
to-
Zakiri,
yeah,
please ask your question.
Yes, so because we presented this or submitted it to the state.
Thank you.
just
Miss,
sorry,
Mhm.
just on that train of thought. So, I believe
excuse me,
basically
Mrs.
mainly
Zakiri,
concerned
would you have a
with
question?
what
You may ask your question now.
My
Yeah,
concern was, where is that pink line? Because I can't
The names
see.
are written so small, I couldn't read
Oh,
it.
you can.
Use it. She forces me to use it, but I like it. I just, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm
Ms.
done-
Khanna? Oh,
Sorry, I'm not done yet. So, and then looking at the map,
Kind of financial analysis, I think.
Dr. Forger, thank you for your questions. We have
I
one more
may not-
question. So that
Gail, I
time
may
is
not
up.
be done yet.
We have spent 15
Yeah,
minutes. We have
okay.
one more question,
But with
and
all
then
due
we'll move
respect-
on to our next
No, Gail,
presentation.
are you the
Ms.
one,
Khanna?
you have no such
Excuse
policy
me.
to interrupt us. You
Excuse
were
me.
talking over me.
My position is to move the meeting along.
Yes,
Ms.
we have
Khanna, you have the
questions.
floor.
So
I think that's a misinterpretation of your
my
role.
question is,
Sorry, Mrs. Gary.
No, Mrs. Bradford, I wanted to talk about this item and another item, and I had my hand up. You went through this row.
Correct,
You
but I
turned
need
around.
to move our meeting along.
Yes,
Do you
I
have
understand.
something other than B to discuss?
So I have a point on B, which is very relevant because we have already submitted the audit report. The auditor has already submitted it to the State Department of Ed. So I don't understand, county comes under the State Department of Ed. So what difference does it make if it has already been submitted? It's on the DOE website with this mistake. So there is no sense of urgency for us to vote on it on February 26th. We can vote on this on the March 18th. And I feel it is kind of, reverse order that we are accepting the findings, but, not the audit report. It's already with the state.
From my understanding, the county, that's sent to the state. What they want is the approval done as soon as possible. If you want to delay it, then CUSAC points, let it be.
And
And I'll leave it at that.
I'm going to deny that. We're going to go ahead and proceed with this vote as it is. Please call roll.
Yes, I'll make a point of order that this is out of order because again, right, I was not told that I was going to be having to vote on a motion tonight, which is why we try to follow Robert's rules and our policies.
There's
president-
nothing out of
The
order.
point of
Oh.
order being called.
The president rules that the point of order is valid. There will be no motion.
I'd like to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Okay, the ruling is appealed and denied by the chair.
No, that takes a vote of the board.
Oh, the appeal takes a vote.
Audit report, if that is available for the public to view, or is that something that only the board gets to review?
It's online.
Okay, and if I have questions on it after I review it, what's the appropriate forum to send those through?
If you'll just direct the correct
Oh.
questions to me and then I will.
Sure,
work them.
Ms.
Thank you.
Bradford. Once I view it online, what is the appropriate forum to send questions?
Anything else? All
When I
questions
view the
first.
report online, what is the appropriate forum to send through questions I may have on it?
Correct. Any other questions you have?
What is the
I'm
forum for
sorry.
me to send those questions through?
Yes.